There's nothing worse than a fake, oh, hi, how are you? I would rather just act like I never see you.
There was this one time I didn't want to acknowledge the person, right? And I'm using my phone. They texted me, look up. I'm in the same cabin.
Wow. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Hot Pot where we hop into different transitions in life. I'm Nick.
I'm Joey.
I'm Q, and today's special guest is one of my favorite guests. It's Lynette!
Yay!
Hi, it's me again.
Wow, Lynette, you are now the clear front runner in terms of the leaderboard. How
Thank
many
you.
times you guessed on Hot Pot? This is
Third
number three.
time.
Third time.
Thank you very much.
It's not a competition.
Yeah.
But she's winning.
But she'll win lah.
Let's
Yeah
be real
lah.
here, it
always
is a
win.
competition.
And every single episode, we'll ask Lynette to introduce
Yeah.
herself.
Don't wanna, please lah. At this point, if I still need to reintroduce myself again, y'all subscribe already or not?
Wow! I love that.
The introvert expert.
She's actually an extrovert.
I think she changed already.
yeah.
Slaying.
Transitions in life.
Actually, come to think of it, right? Like, Joey and I are the clear front runners in terms of the Hot Pot appearances.
Oh, actually, yeah, because Q. Belly.
How many times do you want to say this?
So dainty. Oh, my tummy
She
hot.
missed one episode.
The day you're MC for the shoot, right? You're gonna garner from me.
Dehydrated, got fever.
I'm sick.
Today's topic is somewhat of a continuation of a topic we've talked about before, which was friendship breakups. So kind of like quiet quitting a friendship, ending something with a friend that you no longer want to be friends with. Today, we're going to talk about what happens after that. What if, or is it possible, can we be friends again?
Means break up already then.
Patch back.
Reunion.
Patch back. I feel like sometimes when you say very clearly, like, I'm breaking up with you as a friend, then a bit harder to come back from that.
Because what you say already, then you take it back.
Yeah. As compared to if you just drift a bit, right? But then unspoken, then to patch back, I think a bit more organic.
Does quiet quitting fall under drifting away?
Yeah.
I think yes.
I think drifting away is quite normal.
So just now Lynette mentioned that she has broken up with a friend before.
Yeah, come.
Tell us your
Yes.
secondary school.
I used to have this best friend in school, and then we were known as the duo.
Wow, she think she popular.
As in, who know y'all as the duo?
Like everyone.
Or your own self say
and
we are the duo?
Like go toilet, must go toilet together.
No, and the teachers will always say will always lump us together.
Oh.
Then when got extra things, they will ask the two of us to go and
How
do
they
it
ask?
together.
The duo.
Can the duo please report?
Shut. You want to hear the story?
Yes.
Okay, so then we were best friends of the whole year in Sec 1. And then in Sec 2, we changed class and then we got to know more people. So in Sec 2, both of us got to know this other girl, friend B.
Okay.
And then we just all were vibing and stuff like that. And then at that point, I was trying to change my CCA. And of course, I wanted to be in the same CCA as my best friend. I was in the process of changing. And then after that, I hear from friend B that actually friend A has been telling her that she doesn't want me to join her CCA.
Oh, it's like she wants it to be exclusive.
Because she feels that
It's
if
her
I
own
join
time,
her
ah.
CCA, I will steal her friends. Okay, so friend B then orchestrated a mean girl scene. She's calling me now. Do you want to join the call? But silently. So she orchestrated a 3-way phone call so that I can hear what friend A is saying about me.
Friend B on your side or
No, she was on my side. Because she felt that friend A shouldn't have been she was like, how come you're best friend but she like that?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you should be trying to smooth
correct.
things over rather than make it worse.
Okay, but for context, we were all 14, 13 years old.
Yeah.
It
So,
was efficient and also dramalicious.
Yeah.
and childish, but
Okay,
as
so what she
in
said,
on
what she
hindsight.
said?
Yeah.
So basically, she's just saying about the whole if she comes, I already have my own friends here, blah blah blah, it's gonna be so awkward, etc. Then after hearing that, none of us were confrontational, right? So then I just stopped talking to the friend altogether. I never confronted her. I never told her about that. But we just stopped asking her to come recess with us. Then for the whole of the next year, right, we just never talked. We just
The whole
lost.
year?
Yeah, for the whole year.
Then friend A never come and ask you hey,
Never.
what's the deal, man?
Never.
No, actually, last time the friendships, right? If you stop talking for a few days, right, it means friendship over already.
I think I will go and ask Anne.
Because
I
you're
thought you don't care.
confrontational.
No, it's not confront. I'm okay lah. Yeah.
How
It
you
is a
ask? How you ask?
confrontational thing.
Why you never talk to me?
Why?
Why like that?
MSN, you angry at me.
Ah.
Nudge.
Yeah.
You're angry at me, is it?
No, I do.
Why
what I
today
do.
why today
Lol. You angry at me, lol.
Yeah.
no, why today you go recess without me?
Yeah.
A year later, cause me and friend A, both our moms are friends.
Oh.
So then they didn't know about the drama. They just probably thought like we just not as close or whatever. Then when we were preparing to go into Sec 3, we needed to buy a whole bunch of new shit, right? So then our parents were like, oh, let's go and grab lunch and then buy the books together and shit like that. And then they invited us without knowing that actually we haven't been talking for the entire year. And then we just like decided to went with it. So actually we reunited without even addressing the issue. Fun fact, friend A and friend B are both my bridesmaids.
Wow.
Yes,
wow,
okay.
wow, wow.
Friend A and friend B got ever addressed this thing or not?
Never.
Wait, till today you all haven't talked about it. You
Never. After all these years, they met for the first time. But then I think because we are all adults already, so we were cordial lah.
Hey, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, then just never really talk lor. Like just like
Does friend A know about that phone call?
we only debriefed it like years later.
I can understand why friend A was a bit hesitant to mix friend groups. Because I think we've talked about it before, like at a party or an event, right? Sometimes when you mix your friends, you kind of feel this pressure to like
I need to
entertain
gel.
both sides.
Yeah.
So I think maybe she felt that pressure. It's not so much about I don't want Lynette to steal my friends away.
Yeah.
But I feel like at that age, you
You don't know
are...
how to verbalize your feelings, so
Yes, but you're also you're getting a semblance of who you are. And
Identity,
you
right?
might be a little bit of a different person with some people.
Correct.
Because maybe their humor is more crass. Maybe like you bond over different things. And then you like having your own individuality. Because you guys were joined at the hip, right? So maybe she wanted a sense of self.
Yeah.
And that was her one like,
avenue.
Correct.
Yeah. I also think that because friend B out of all of us, right, she's the quietest and the most like don't dare to say stuff. So I think maybe that was the only way she know how also.
Actually, I want to go back to her friendships, right? How did those two girls build that friendship again afterwards?
I never break up with friend B. I only broke up with friend A. But I wanted to bring up a point, which is that I think when you come back from a friendship, right? Number one is you have to be very intentional about what caused the friendship to break in the beginning.
Yeah.
You don't do it again, or you actively try to do something different so that it shows that you're putting in effort in making this a new friendship, right? And then also I think if your friendship break up because of certain issues, then after you rekindle that friendship, it's very important to set the boundaries. Yeah. So I think me and friend A, we never talk about this issue for like years and years. In our adulthood, when we talk about it, right, it was quite a objective, mature conversation. And then I think it would have been a very easy thing if we had just communicated that with each other in the first place.
Okay, so actually in general, right, yours was quite like a organic patchback. But then for the rest of y'all, when do you think that like if you break up with someone, right, how do you know that you want to be friends again?
I think if you start missing them and not missing them just because there's a void to feel like you're lonely, but rather they fulfill you in other ways, like whether it's like intellectually or whether it's hobbies that you guys want to like do together, I think that's a sign.
So are there any prerequisites to like, okay, this is a friendship that I want to restore?
Cannot betray me before lor.
So that one is like okay, done already lah.
Yeah.
Betray, like okay. So if you don't trust the person, then it's flat, cannot lah.
Yeah, you don't trust or respect the person. Sometimes you just need time apart. Not because you need time to forgive, but also you are still processing what happened. Like this just reminded me of what happened in primary school. I had this one friend, we were so close, and I would go to her house after school. Even her mom bought me the same school bag as her so that we could twin, right? Then I can't remember what happened, but we had a falling out and we just stopped talking. And I remember thinking like, oh, I want to tell her this, but we're not friends anymore, never mind. And at one point it felt like, actually, why am I hesitating? Actually, there's no reason to not tell her anymore. At first it was like, we're still angry, like I'm still angry at her, and if she wants, she can talk to me. But eventually that feeling went away and it became like, oh my God, I really want to tell her. And you know what, I think I'm going to, because I'm not angry anymore. And then eventually when I remember this was like primary 3, primary 4 maybe, then it became how's your sister and how's your mom? I miss them. Then she said, actually, they also miss you. Like, come my house. And that's how we patched things up in primary school. So I think we both had our moment to like digest and then realize, okay, we can put it behind us and I actually miss you more than I was angry at you.
A lot of times it also depends on the severity of like the
Incident.
incident or
Yeah.
the wrongdoing.
Yeah.
So if it's like a minor thing that in that moment as a child, like you, like 15-year-old you is angry about, like 25-year-old you might not feel the same way about the same incident, especially since like after so much time has passed. But then incident aside, maybe this person really is like, you know, your personalities can vibe and things like that, then worth exploring lah.
What other reasons are there for you to reconnect with people?
Maybe you want to sell them insurance? Bro, how are you? Very long like a chap.
I really think if it's a non-fundamental thing and when you think about that person, you have more fond memories than like bitterness. You know what I mean? If you find yourself constantly thinking about that person, like, oh, I really wish, you know, she would enjoy this.
Yeah,
you find yourself
yeah.
thinking about that person over good things.
Like
you see
you want to
something.
send them a song.
Yeah, a song or a meme. Yeah, a video. And like, oh, I wish, never mind, we're not talking anymore.
The beauty of like friendships versus like relationships is that it's a lot more non-committal
Yeah.
to like reconnect with a friend rather than like, maybe I should text my ex, you know, then like,
They want to open a can of worms.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas for a friend, it's like, oh, I'll go out for a lunch and then like, if we still can still get along, we get along.
It's like you can happy birthday into their life, right? But it's different when an ex does it.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like the ex do already, then you're like, what do you want?
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
To
What's the point of this?
Connect with me again or what?
Yeah.
Got people try to reconnect, like got friends try to reconnect with you before? But like not
Reconnect?
like that slide into your...
Exes have
No, friends.
Friends have.
friends.
I just ignore. As in not ignore, but I shoot it down. I make it very clear that I'm being civil, but the door is closed.
When we are adults, right? When we quit a friendship, we are a lot more intentional about it.
Yes.
And it's harder to get back the friendship because you really thought it through and you think that this person is not suitable in your life.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, when we are younger, we can break up because of a lot of reasons. It can just be like, you do this
Today
to me,
I
I don't
don't
friend you. Yeah.
You wear the same skirt as me.
Yeah. For the friendships that I have forsaken in my adulthood, I don't foresee getting back.
Unless maybe next time in your 50s or 60s, then different.
Maybe,
maybe
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you bump into
It
each
needs to
other
be
one
like a
sunny day.
really like different phase of life. Lah.
Yes.
In adulthood, our social circles are formed already. And I don't think we have the mental capacity to invite anyone else into our lives. So that's why once we cut off. I think even if you feel nostalgic and sentimental about a specific someone, the effort to reconnect and have that whole conversation is quite draining.
Yeah, I think being cordial with someone, like saying, okay, like we've said apologies, cool. But don't suddenly like, oh, let's hang out every day. Then now like, oh, you want to come over? You want to come for dinner? Let's
No, I
have a
think it
party.
needs to be like incremental lah.
Correct.
Like, I feel like you one step first, you meet in like neutral ground, like at some event, then you hang out. Then like, hey, actually this was like not bad, can talk. Then maybe you go for like, oh, we can do lunch someday. Then lunch, okay, then hang out at my place, that kind of thing, you know.
Do you think if a fight happens or an argument happens and there's a lot of back and forth, and after apologies, right, do you feel like the friendship will never be the same again?
I think it's possible also, unless that person disrespected you. To me, respect is a very big thing. Like if they low blow, they say certain things that you cannot come back from, then I genuinely don't think that it can go back, because there will always be that part of me that will be cautious, like a bit not trusting. There's someone in our friend group that we've all collectively decided, like, okay, I don't think he aligns with our... I mean, he wasn't a great friend in that he wasn't really showing up for us literally and also emotionally. Like grandma passed away or whatever, he would never engage. Birthdays never engage. You want to be a low profile friend, it's okay. But then we found out that he was doing a lot of unethical things. Then we decided collectively, not like, okay, let's stop being friends, but I think we just distance ourselves away. And I think this person has tried to make amends or like kind of seep through, and I think the message has been like, yeah, no lah, I don't think there's a point also. Like we clearly don't align ma.
Question pod!
Lynette.
Would you rather sound like a different musical instrument every time you laugh, or have the sound of a siren every time you open your mouth? Including
Sometimes
when
you
you
already
eat.
sound like a siren. Every time you laugh.
Of course, I want to sound like an
But
instrument.
what kind of
lah.
siren? The
Wait,
peepaw peepaw.
No, no, no. What's the sweetest thing someone has ever said to you? One of our ex-colleagues wrote a farewell card to me and she said, if I ever have a daughter, I hope she's like you.
What would your strategy be if you suddenly became the size of an ant for a week? It depends on if I'm soldier ant or queen ant. So if I'm queen ant, right, I think the first thing I would do is I will put in place like a line of like my food tasters. Because you know nowadays like people buy the ant gel, then the soldier ant will always bring the poison back to feed the queen ant. So I feel like that is the greatest threat to my existence. If I'm a soldier ant though, then it's a slightly different strategy. Hey, why you laugh?
She's been laughing.
You know, even if you're soldier ant or queen ant, right? I would just
Yeah. I already had planning to use my angel to like surround you. You have no escape. You must die.
If you had to have a body part replaced with a piece of furniture, what would it be? Oh! I think I would have my arms as a... no. My back as a bookshelf.
To store
Then I
stuff.
can hold a lot of things. My back, my whole spine, right, will always be upright. Those metal office cupboard. They can open, close, can lock. Only my friends got the key.
Hypothetical scenario, this person that you like cut out already or like a friend that you had cut out before, right? You bump into them in public. Yeah, what would you do? You acknowledge or don't acknowledge?
No.
I will walk the other way.
Well,
So
like,
much
okay,
effort to turn around.
you're on the same MRT train, you will like get out,
get out,
take
yeah.
the next train.
Yes, correct. I will.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than a fake, oh, hi, how are you? I would rather just act like I never see you.
There was this one time I didn't want to acknowledge the person, right? And I'm using my phone. They texted me,
Oh,
look up. I'm in the same cabin.
wow.
Then I pretend my phone airplane mode. I lock, right? Then I pretend to sleep.
What?
I'm like, oh my god, suddenly headache. Suddenly sleepy.
Oh, I love that for you.
Well, I love
Then-
that you committed.
I closed my eyes for a little bit, right? Then I decided I'm going to change my plan. And I decided to leave the MRT train, pretending that that's my stop, right?
Yeah.
Then I leave already, right? Like 5-10 minutes later. Oh my god, sorry, just saw this. I'm going off. Like, I just left the train.
Yeah.
Were you just right in front of me? You know, like I lied to that person.
Oh, good.
Oh.
No, that was good.
No,
well
that was
played.
very
Well
good.
played.
You're lame, yeah.
No,
I
it's
scared. I
It's
don't
also
talk.
a form of keeping the peace. I think your peace is more important
Yes.
because you don't owe that person anything
True, true,
anymore.
true.
You're not being mean, but you are keeping your peace.
True,
yeah.
true.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Role play. Imagine, right, now you are Q and you are the friend, you're very persistent. Then like you die want to talk to her.
Then
How
you
will
say
you
hi to
react?
her.
Somehow she introvert. I really want to see how this plays out. And
Q is not
action.
introvert, ma.
Lynette,
Oh, hi.
you remember me or not?
Oh, yeah.
Remember me or not?
Yeah. You look very familiar.
Ubi secondary school one.
Yeah.
You last time 5A,
How
right?
come, what are you doing here?
Oh, no,
Where you
going to
going?
work. Going to
Oh,
work.
I also. What's your stop?
Actually, I can get off a few stops. So,
Oh, I going down next stop.
Sim. Where's your office?
Take out.
Farrer Park.
Sim. You're at the where is it?
Mr. Worldwide, He from Ubi to Farrer Park.
Ding ding.
Still got get in touch with anyone? If we're getting off here,
Farrer
right?
Park
I walk with you.
Station.
Actually, I'm running a bit late. I need to walk a bit faster. Okay,
Oh,
bye.
yeah,
Nice to
yeah.
meet you. Bye.
I also.
I think small
Wow.
talk is fine. Like, I think ultimately everyone is able to deal with a little bit of small talk, but I don't think anyone will persist
Yeah,
to this
until like
point.
that.
Wow,
lah.
great job. Nick really played the role. I really want to punch you so hard.
Yeah.
Lynette!
Why are some people so persistent?
You ask yourself.
No, they
You're
lack
so
of
good at it.
They lack of self-awareness.
Yeah,
lor.
yeah, yeah.
A low
genuinely
EQ,
want to be friends.
but they don't recall what happened, or they don't know. For example, right, her friend didn't know what happened. Sorry, very close to her. Her friend didn't know what happened, so she might think, like, let's just reconnect. I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh.
So they're just unaware of what
Right.
happened. Or they low EQ.
All of us are quite clear, like this sort of like interpersonal relationship that is like slightly at a distance and right, not very interested. But it seems like there are people who are actually very interested.
Yeah.
If they are exhibiting this kind of persistence, then they probably have a bit of an issue reading social cues.
Okay.
So maybe they have a harder time making friends, which
Okay.
then I'll feel guilty. But at the same time, it's like, I'm sorry, man.
Okay, now we flip the table a bit. You all act like you're damn cool. You're all the cool kids, right? What if you want to make friends with reconnect with someone again, but they don't want you?
I think no point trying. Because a friendship is a
Or-
two-way
Or
street.
try one time lah.
Yeah, you try one time. In Chinese, right, it's called 不要贴你的热脸在那个冷屁股。
Don't stick your hot face on
the
someone's
cold
cold
ass.
ass.
Yeah, correct. You never hear before.
But why must be 屁股?
Cause it's like you very humiliating, ma.
Oh.
Yeah.
As in, what is trying to you? Reaching out to this person and asking to have lunch together, or just a text message? And then if they don't really like,
Actually, I think it's
bounce
a very big step to like out of the blue, right? Never even bump into this person, right?
Yeah.
You DM or like message someone and
Exactly.
like, hey, long time.
I will
no."
think they selling me insurance.
Yeah, same.
I think a pretty foolproof, natural, but like efficient way is you react to their story with a message. So like let's say that person posts like, oh my god, like maybe your old friends, okay, for example, then they post a photo of their dog. Like, oh my god, like the dog is so big now, you know. If the person just double tick only, as in like double click, they like or they don't even respond, I think that should be your indicator that, or they reply like, yeah, it's been so like long since you've seen him, how have you been? You know, like that can be an opener. But if they don't even like give you the time of day with that, because it's a pretty safe in, right? You are like only commenting
Like
on
you
their dog.
respond and they just like your
They
your
like or they
reply.
just seen only, that's it. Then
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's a very clear like indicator that okay, it's over. There are ways to do it where you guys can both walk out of it with your heads held high. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've once happy birthday into someone's life, but only because I really remember her birthday. I messaged one of my ex-best friends from primary school. So it was a moment where she was like, oh my god, after all these years, you still remember my birthday. It's like, you know, some specific dates you can never forget.
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, for me, I told her like, I can never forget lah. And then it's those kind of conversations where she just brought up maybe having a lunch or like having a dinner to catch up. So I think that was one of the ways where I felt like, oh, it's suggested by her and I actually don't mind having that dinner. If let's say I was the one suggesting the dinner and she's like, I'm not free.
Oh, we plan again.
If you say plan again without suggesting a date, right, I take it as a rejection. Even with acquaintances now, right, I think a lot of people tend to do the let's catch up soon, let's meet soon. But if you don't actively plan a date or an outing, right, I take it as a very passive thing that you just want to like be cordial and
Like you just say for the sake of being
Now
friendly.
my benchmark is if I say that like 2 or 3 times, then okay, I think you are worth like hanging out with.
you say what?
If I say like, hey, let's catch up soon, like 2 or 3 times but haven't catch up, right?
Also, you actually mean it?
I mean it.
Oh, it sounds fake.
No, but I feel like if I like one time and then never like maybe still like a bit on the fence, you know, can go either way.
Yeah, like I always feel that when people say, oh yeah, we should catch up soon, it's very like they're just saying it for
Oh,
PR.
but I really mean it. Like in that moment, I feel like I would.
Then
I
why
wouldn't
didn't
mind,
you suggest a date?
Because the feeling fade away after like 5 minutes. But then
But
maybe
you just texted.
But if I say that again, right? Then like I'm like, how come I can feel this again? Then if I say it again, right, then I'm like, okay lah, this is it.
Any psychologists watching, please give us your
Like,
diagnosis.
sometimes I be
Yeah.
busy ma. They're like, oh, I don't
Oh,
mind
okay,
hanging
but
out.
let me
Okay,
just
yeah.
tell you from my perspective, it comes off very half-ass.
So if any friends of mine are watching this now, if I say I want to hang out with you, means I really want to hang out with you, but I just need to like feel it a few more times first.
On second thought, I can relate. Sometimes I say like, oh, we should catch up soon, but you really very busy until maybe you're thinking next moment, okay, maybe I check the calendar. Then something comes on and then you just like,
Okay, I agree because like sometimes I do that too. But then if it continuous thing where this person just keeps saying, let's meet up for like 5 times already, then you don't want to plan or you don't want to
5 is too
initiate.
much. The level is 3.
Trees.
You cannot use your own
Yeah lor, your
benchmark,
own
right?
rule,
Think
you-
make no sense one.
3 and then after that the onus is on you if you say.
Okay, can.
Yeah. Whoever say must be the one to plan and put a date.
This is Nick's rule book.
Yeah.
You want to follow, you follow.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the worst when the person say, hey, let's plan a meetup. Okay, how's this day at this time? Then they don't reply.
oh,
Shut up.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
What are some effective ways to reconnect with someone and to build that friendship again?
I feel like a lot of times, right, when you reconnect, right, that is just the first step. Then you sort of need to rebuild like your closeness also. So I think in adulthood, the very common one is like you find common ground law. How has your life progressed? How has my life progressed? And then where are the overlaps? Like, okay, now we are both parents now, that kind of thing. Or we both just like had wedding and things like that. Or how was your experience? Then you sort of figure out from there. Then I think it's like you sort of find more and more overlaps. Oh, you also like to go to this like CrossFit class, then like we should go plan one day, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's stage 1.
Yeah.
I believe stage 2, right? Even with friends who are not in your inner circle, but you meet them maybe once a month or once every 3 months, right? I feel like you need to have experiences together.
Yeah.
Because if there's no new experiences, right, all you do is talk about old ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just reminisce about.
Like, kena one holiday,
Hey, remember
you know?
last time Jeremy say this, then like you laugh about the secondary school moments, but
Yeah.
then
Remember Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah, our friendship is Jeremy's in the call.
then Jeremy is not even there.
Yeah.
But I find it difficult with some of my friends who we don't really build new experiences together. That's why every time we meet up, it's always like the same old conversation.
Actually, I forgot about this, but I have a close friend, right, who navigated this expertly. So I was like reeled back into the friendship. So this was like my secondary school friend. Then we were super close. But then he went to become like a full-time athlete. Like really compete to try and like go Olympics kind. Throughout his entire like competitive sport career, right, I didn't see him. Because the guy really just like no time. And I think it was quite intentional from him, like, okay, this is a sacrifice I have to make lah, like I cannot see my friends. So then we didn't talk for like 10 years plus, no. But then minute like he was like on the verge of retiring, right? Then he like reached out and then he was like, he planned dinner, catch up soon, he hosts. Then after that he really like follow up, like organize a few more like because he also never see our other friends that I'm also still close to. So then after that, it reached all the way to like in the span of 1 year, then suddenly I was like the groomsman at his wedding again. Then after that, we go like holiday together with like his wife and like with Jazz and all that also. I could really sense like it was very intentional effort to like reconnect now.
I just got reminded of a story. So in secondary school, I was Sec 2, and at this time, I was taking conversational Malay. And this time I'm learning like Malay, right? And words and slang. I had this one friend. I remember we were at McDonald's and my friend was teaching me what meant. He was teaching me the saying like you say it like that, right? So I turned to my friend and I said to her. She immediately got up, she left. And in that moment, I realized I f***ed up. I said sorry to her. I tried reaching out to her. I texted her. She didn't reply or anything. I remember on Messenger, after we graduated, because I remember seeing her in the hall, and then we smiled at each other or something. So I took that as my in. And then I messaged her. I said, like, I just want to apologize again. Like, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. And early this year, I bumped into her on the street. And she was still with old secondary school friends. And in that moment, I felt so happy that I finally got to right that wrong. Because I felt like I really made a grave mistake. Like, to me, it was a joke cause funny, but it was clearly not funny. And I felt guilty about it for like my whole secondary school life. Like every time I saw her, because we were still in the same class for the rest of the year, every time I saw her, I was reminded like, you should not have said that. You should not have said that. And I remember like I started to panic and I'm like, oh my God, I should chase after her. And the friend was like, no lah, leave it. Tomorrow she'll be okay one. Yeah, that tomorrow never came in. And there was nothing wrong with that friendship. Yeah.
Because of all this, I just remembered back when I was in poly in cheerleading, I was the vice president and my friend was the president. We have very different leadership styles. In some ways, I was more involved for a period of time. And I was very unhappy with her because of how she handled things. And in a subgroup of our batchmate chat, right? At the point in time, we weren't close. I think the main chat was getting flooded with different information. It's just like a casual chat. And then I was on the sub chat chatting with my other friends and my ex-boyfriend there also. Then I was so pissed off about something. I said, screw that that whole sentence, right? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I sent it in the main chat. And then I panicked there. Like at the point of time, right, you cannot delete messages. WhatsApp cannot delete messages, you know?
Only can spam. You only can spam to
Correct.
push it
And
up.
then I immediately told my friends, guys, spam the chat. And I think we all tried lah. And I was like panicking to my ex-boyfriend. I was like crying. I'm like, what the did I just do? Like, I didn't mean it that way. I mean, I didn't mean it. I was just angry. Afterwards, I was hoping that she didn't see, right? Her boyfriend at that point of time replied to my message and like scolded me. So it was just this whole like, oh my God, I felt like an out-of-body experience. Like my life just crumbled because it's my social life. It's the people that I see 3 times a week, you know? So eventually, I thought like my friendship and hers was over already. But I decided like to do the right thing, and in the next training I just put her aside and I apologized. Like I said, I told her why I said that the things that I said, and I didn't mean it that way. And she's a very kind person, and she forgave me lah. And I just attended her wedding last weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're all good now. We actually laughed about it after many years.
Yeah.
How mature of you, eh?
Yeah, as in I was childish for sending that message, but I knew I didn't mean what I said lah.
Yeah.
It was out of spite, you know. Sometimes you just say
Yeah.
things because you're angry.
Yeah, and it's truly one of those things where you are ready to apologize, you are ready to own up, but it doesn't mean that that person needs to be ready to accept it. You know?
Yeah.
Not every story has a happy ending. And if you can put in effort to get the happy ending, then do so. But know that, like, unfortunately, we're not all entitled to that. And if anything, I think in adulthood, we really need to cherish the relationships that we have. Be respectful to the people around us who love us and show us that respect too. And if you can put in the effort to get a good friendship back, I highly recommend doing so, because sometimes you need to set that ego aside and right that wrong. You never know how much that could drastically change your life.
So thank you for joining us on this episode of The Hot Pod. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Me Listen.
And subscribe to us if you haven't already.
And thank you so much to Lynette for joining us again.
Thank you for having me again.
Our regular.
More to come.
Regular.
Thank you.
Your KPI this year is 5.
2 more.
Hear
Per
that,
month.
PD?
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Like if they play mother.
For example.
Yeah, Mama. Like, you know when you play mother father
primary school,
cannot. Cannot.
I think it's like funny lah, like your mother lah, like funny. But if
no,
they
no,
like,
if they actually pull out your childhood trauma.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
No wonder your mother left you.
Oh.
No.
Oh wow, I thought you meant.
Mommy.